Hello everybody, Darren here, and welcome back to episode 3 in my DUNE Spice Wars campaign as House Atreides. Now in the last episode we continued our expansion and secured 2 additional special regions, boosting our hegemony by 1,000, putting us well in the lead for now. We also secured 2 additional spice fields and set up a network of airfields, allowing us to traverse our elongated, snaky terrain here on the edge of the map. Now, I've actually secured some additional keys for a giveaway in this series, thanks to the developer/publisher for sending them my way. So if people are interested in winning a copy of DUNE Spice Wars, just write in the comments, "The spice must flow," and I'll pick one at random. So it's not first come, first served or anything like that, but in about a day or 2 days, I'll pick someone at random and send them a key on YouTube. I've also got that in the next episode as well, so there's multiple opportunities for you to get a few keys. So thanks to them for sending that over, and that should be a fun one to see. There'll be a different set of words in the next episode to redeem a key. Now, additionally, speaking of comments, there's a little bits of feedback I want to address from the previous episode. So the first one that I wrote down was to do with resources. So every town, every village actually has its own modifier, and people were just saying, hey, make sure you keep an eye out for these. You don't really do anything too much with it, although I suppose maybe certain buildings can give it an additional modifier and squeeze even more out of it. They're kind of just set in stones. That's why I haven't really looked at them. You do see it down here of what you produce. So this town, for instance, has a strong network giving extra intel production. This one, for instance, has merchants giving us +3 Solari. This one actually has the same one. Now, the additional modifier here is organized supply. You may remember at Mimtar, I built a building called a maintenance center, and that affects surrounding regions. So this one, and this one all have this little organized supply active at the moment. But the further out we go, we start to lose that. The other thing was then, well, we've merchants here as well. Man, we have a lot of Solari coming in. That's just kind of coincidence, I think. Anyway, the next thing then would be whether or not I'm gathering the actual special resources that we have at our disposal. So for here we have rare elements, and I have actually been securing them. We're building a building right now, the processing plant, to get 30 Solari. The other rare elements that we have is up here. I've already built the building early on in the previous episode, actually the first episode I think, to get that. So I actually like to think I'm fairly on top of getting the resources, but feel free to let me know, or at least point out if you think I haven't. There's no harm in me checking it. The other thing was there was some conversation about votes in the previous episode. So there was 3 or 4 votes that went by. Granted, when I'm trying to keep things moving and not spend too much time, I do miss things, so I know that I'm aware that I do miss things from time to time. However, there's some feedback saying like, oh, I don't think you should put all your votes down on one particular resolution, maybe spread them between everything. And it's kind of a gamble. You know, there are strengths and there's pros and cons to each. If you put all of your votes down on one thing, you're more likely to get that thing happening, or to make that thing pass. If you put a little bit of a vote down on everything, you could lose everything. Now, I looked through the previous votes in the last episode, and I actually pretty much got everything I wanted. We did get hit with 1 negative before, which was a 30% upkeep to Plascrete, so that's not good, but you can't win them all. At least I don't think so. But I was happy with the ones we got. We got the Landsrad units, and I made good use of them. We took 2 towns with them, and had them there for a while, defending a little rebellion, or an incursion from raids, so I felt pretty good about that. The other one was the gear sabotage. This is actually a great point that was brought up that I didn't realize, so thanks very much for the comment on this one, which was gear sabotage says it reduces enemy units' power in the region, which is technically true, and we used it on one of these towns before, and I was like, oh, I don't really feel like I'm feeling the effect of it, and it's because once you put it down, then you'll see a little modifier will appear here, and it says in that tooltip that it doesn't affect the locals. It only affects House Harkonnen, smugglers, and the Fremen. It doesn't say that anywhere else. It doesn't say that in the screen here when you're about to get it, so I kind of feel like I'm not that crazy for missing that one. It's kind of a weird tooltip where it only shows you after the fact, so placing it down the first time, how was I to know? Admittedly, I did look right at it, and I still didn't see it after it was down, so there is that. And then the very last thing was to do with the fight at Tuor that we lost, and then I fell back from. I had forgotten that in the previous episode, there was a council passed that decreased the power of my military units. So there's a clear instance where that was obviously a big mistake, and I wasn't paying attention, and I didn't notice it, because it wasn't really a modifier that you could see up in the top of the screen like the other ones usually are, like the current resolutions are up here. So again, it could be, maybe, it's obviously on me, I should have remembered that, but also I think slightly clearer UI might help with figuring out when things like that are taking effect. Maybe I missed it again, I don't know. But I thought I'd at least address it. Appreciate the feedback. Keep it coming. There are things I miss, so it's great that I have a repository of people out there helping me spot these things, especially when I left like a harvester just idle for, I think it was 4 days in game, so that's kind of annoying. Speaking of, we're going to now get back into the motion of the game. I want to just adjust the chome rate to make a little bit more money back. 2.1 is still pretty good, and we have enough to pay our next Imperial tax, so we're totally fine there. We're currently losing manpower, and we're also currently peacefully annexing this town. So that's going to take a little while, but in the next, I think, 10 days or so, we're going to get that one. There was a comment as well that said maybe you should do that for this one, because I was saying it's going to be quite difficult to sort of traverse all this terrain with supply and try to get to there and then take the town. You have to run all the way out here, right, which will be a big bleed on a unit's supply, and then you have to fight and take the town. And once you take it, then you'll be fine, even once you kill the garrison. But that's a little on the edge, you know, you might run out by the time you get there. So someone said, hey, why don't you peacefully annex it? It's kind of a perfect opportunity for that, which is great. It's a great idea. And then once we're there, someone else suggested build an airport then, an airfield, and we can just fly out there in future, which is fine. But obviously once we own it, then the supply doesn't drain when we run through. So it's not a big, that's not a problem, and I can't build a forward airbase. But yep, as it gets closer to the polar sink, that would make a lot of sense to have an airfield there too. So appreciate the feedback. Alrighty. Let's focus up and decide on what we're going to be doing right now. So we have our various harvesters all working. This one is a bit short on crew. We could put more crew on it, and we're losing manpower. So that's something I'm going to focus on. Now, if we have a look at our buildings, Runmer only has the option to have another slot. We're kind of low on plascrete, so maybe I'll keep working on getting more of that up and running. And then in future, it would be great to kind of get these 2 towns as we're getting that one as well. So the goal is going to be to kind of occupy these 3 territories. It's going to be difficult. The smugglers are right here. They came in and they raided once before. Maybe they're going to secure it in future. I don't know. I'll probably not really expand any further south for a while because these regions aren't especially special. There is plascrete actually here, but I don't know. It's not as worth it as having 3 towns close together. This has plascrete too, because we can set up missile silos and they will just fire in a really nice big range. Not quite as big as this, but a pretty big range like this. And it'd be a really defensible area, so. And then if there's rebellions, it's quick to get to any of them, you know? So that's a perfect little region over there, or set of regions. And I think that's pretty much it. We're all caught up. Just to give myself a bit of a recap, we're just about to get Paracompass. It's the best navigation tool on the planet, on a planet with an unstable magnetic field. Ornithopter speed's going to go up, military units have a reduction in supply drain, and a 30% recon speed for the points of interest. Now, I don't know why, when I loaded the save, it said that I'd click these 2, and I was like, I don't remember doing that, and I looked at the footage and I didn't, so I'm not sure when that was automatically queued up. I'm going to go with this, Call to Arms, to get an increase in manpower production, because we are losing manpower slightly, and then get different units in the future as well. But we're also going to reinvest into manpower, so we can get a little bit more going, and then start getting some better militias and stuff set up as well. Alright, let's let time play. That was quite a long-winded way to start the game, but we're in. We're going. What the hell was this? Oh, it's a siege, and the siege is attacking. We were looking right at it when it happened. Let's just move these missile units over this way. I'm going to pull these guys back behind the town. So a siege, for those who don't know, is kind of like the locals that live in sieges, right? They live in these sort of almost like pirate coves, if you will, on the periphery of the villages and towns. And you can effectively trade water with them in order to get something. So they're different for each one. So for this one, it's got 8 garrison units. So taking them out is quite difficult. It takes quite a lot. They have a relation level. It's at -57 by default. But if we trade 10 water, we'll get 20 gold back, and we'll start to build up the relation level. When the relation level hits 100, we can then send an emissary, permanently slot in an agent in here, and then we'll gain 4 knowledge. So that's kind of how that works. So you can form this alliance once you have 100 relations. And it's interesting, the Fremen don't actually need to put agents in here. Instead, they just pay authority. It's like so much easier. But we'll try this anyway. I mean, we've got the excess water, so why not do it? So we'll activate that. That gives us a boost in Solari production, and they'll start getting happier, which means they attack us less often as well. Alright, the garrison is being activated. Let's go. Might awaken some sandworms, we'll have to see. Now just check that we're not missing anything else. No, everything seems good. Got a lot of money actually as well, which is nice. Now, we have the plascrete production to, I think, expand this town. We've already got plascrete here. So I'm really just looking for where can we get more plascrete. So for instance, this town doesn't have any, but the expansion cost here is a lot more. What about up north? That's already got its one as well, and this one doesn't. So we could get one here. I know that this is a very interesting region, because if we do end up getting these areas, we can also get that adjacency bonus and really make a lot. So we'll definitely reserve a slot for that in future, but for now we could at least get plascrete up and running.
We're focused.
And we can always trade for additional plascrete as well. Alright, there's sandworms nearby, so let's just pull back. Can't pull the garrison units back, we just have to hope they make it back on their own.
Agreed. Listening. Taking position.
As you command.
Alright, cool. So I've divided up the units. I'm going to send one melee unit out this way and one missile unit out that way, and have both here as well. Harvesters are doing good. Nice. So I was looking at the buildings that we can build here in between episodes. And they're different than the Fremen unit buildings. So there was a really great Fremen building that actually affects the adjacent regions around your home city, which would have been perfect here because we are just surrounded with villages, which is great. But unfortunately, I didn't really spot any that does that. At least I had a fairly quick look through and I didn't notice it. So hopefully I haven't missed that either. But we'll pick something to get there in future. As always, I'm really just being limited by my authority. So authority is what we need to start capturing regions. That gets more expensive the further into the game you go. You can reduce it. Is that what I was getting? Lay of the lands? Ah, that's why. Agents produced on Arrakis infiltration produce 20% more authority. Okay, maybe I did queue that up at the end of the last episode. There's another one as well that reduces the authority cost of having a lot of towns already. Agents assigned to Arrakis infiltration produce 30% more authority again. 30% resources received when trading with the Siege. Let me just have a look through. There's definitely one. It might just be unique to the Fremen, because I just played them. Yeah, possibly so. Maybe I'll look in between episodes again just to be doubly sure. But it seems that way. Yeah, it seems that way. Okay, well, we can still work towards it and work towards getting those different things. But yeah, basically, they have a tech. If I don't have it anyway, they've got a tech that says, in this tooltip, it says owned villages, 121 authority. So that's the additional cost, because I have so many villages already that the cost keeps going up. And you can reduce that by 30%, which is huge when it starts getting up to over 200 or something. You know, you're saving a lot of authority once you get that tech. And you can take a lot more towns because of it. Oh my god, these guys are going to be devoured. Okay. I'm sorry. But yeah, so I guess really you should just sit still when you get a tremor like that, because they do move, and it obviously just... It most likely tracked the unit across the sand there. It's fine. We'll just get another one. But yeah, they do have experience. You know, you don't want to be losing units too much really, because they have experience, so you're wasting all that experience gain. We actually don't have enough experience. We've got 64 on both of these units.
Yes.
And 20 on them. So these two have 64. So reaching another threshold level gives them an increased amount of power. And I think health.
Awaiting orders.
Yep. Cool. Construction complete. We got our extra plascrete up here now. And we're making manpower again, which is good. New Landsrad Council. Alright, let's see what we got. So the current active resolutions are 30% manpower upkeep, which is why we were in the negative. A 30% authority production. And for us, that was specifically for us, it has our flag next to it. And then scientific progress, military developments completion is increased by 50%. And that's good, because we switched to military, right? So again, I feel like I'm playing to the strengths of what's going on. We have the elected faction gains the Landsrad support again. 3 Landsrad guards will appear. Now, I don't really need that, because we can't pillage, and my expansion is really being limited by authority. So I don't need the extra troops right now. Before I did, because I had authority to spend. But now I don't, so I don't really feel like I need that one. The elected faction gains 30% chome bonus from spice, so that one will probably be quite good. And then the elected faction suffers 100% Landsrad standing losses for actions against other factions. That's probably not going to happen to us. Landsrad standing is sort of how the council views us overall, and it gives you big benefits the longer things go. Now, if you end up breaking treaties and things like that, it can be affected, or doing certain things in espionage, it can end up going back down, but I don't think that's really going to happen to us, so I'll probably avoid that one, and just put some votes onto this one, and maybe just save some influence as well. That's what I was doing in one of the previous episodes also. I was just saying I'll put some of my votes down, but just bank some of the influence for future use. You can also trade influence if you end up having too much anyway, so kind of makes sense, at least to me. Making a huge amount of money though right now, which is great. And we'll use that. If we have 500 Plascrete and a 1500 Solari, we can build a building in one of our, in Arakeen. And then depending on, these are grouped. So I haven't explained this yet for those who are unfamiliar. There's various groups here, right? A group of 3, group of 2, singular groups of 1, and then a group of 2 here. These different groups, as you can see, when we hover over it, they're called districts, and they will give us various modifiers. So this one, just looking at the economic one, says it'll give us something called insurance banks, 10% Solari production. This one, the economic one, would give us investment offices, increasing technology by 20% for economy techs. This one is also insurance banks, so they're both insurance banks. This one is economic lobbies and investment offices. So over here you can see the 3 modifiers for economy. I'm just looking at the economy just to simplify things right now. If I wanted to activate these 3 modifiers, I would have to have 2 economic buildings here, an economic building here, and 3 economic buildings here. But that's actually impossible, because you can only build 4. And you can't double up your buildings. There's only 4 economic buildings to build. So I have to choose which modifiers I want to activate. And that's a big activation, you know, it's a heavy cost that you're never really going to change throughout your game. So you got to be sure about what you want to do with it. So 20% hegemony from chome shares, that's espionage that you can do. So basically towards down here, chome shares. So if we want, we can spend intel and 10,000 gold to get 500 hegemony. But if we had that building in the set of modifiers activated, we'd get a 20% increase to that. So that one's probably not something I'll go for. Economic developments, 20%, 10% Solari production. And of course, then you have to weigh up the option of, well, maybe I don't want insurance banks. Maybe I want 2 power on all of my units, you know? So to get that, we'd have to have 2 military buildings there. So it's kind of it's an interesting little building system where it's like you have to decide pretty carefully about what groupings you want, and then you have to get the technologies to even unlock them in the first place. I dare say, I think I'll go with the research center, but after that I might hold off for quite a while, because until I start really getting the lay of the land and whose strengths are what, then we want to invest into it. It makes sense to do things early, and if you really have a clear path and you want to double down on something, but it could end up going down the sort of wrong path and finding out too late that the AI is going to beat you in some other category. So little indecisiveness maybe on my part, but I think the first one to go with research centers is just good all-rounder. It adds 3 knowledge, 30% knowledge globally, and then negative 30% research hub upkeep. So you save money, you get more tech, and the tech rate is sped up for everyone. So I think that's pretty good. Okay. So let's see, how's our progress up here? So interesting. I might have to go and fight this. We are trying to peacefully annex this, and the smugglers are fighting for it. Now, it looks like for conquest. I think that symbol means conquest. That doesn't mean pillaging, which means we may have to fight them. So I might have to rush up here and battle them for that region. We could fly up there, so I think I'm going to do that. So we can fly right to the edge and then run. And that's 40 gold. It's a bit of a risky move, but I might do it with this unit as well. It's going to take them a while to get there. And then I need to make another unit as well, because we did just lose that one. A heavy weapon squad. So we have 2 troopers, 2 rangers, and 1 heavy weapon squad. Might just get another trooper then. It's the one we lost anyway. Yeah, I kind of needed that manpower actually, but whatever, it's fine. So just to have a look at it, look at the shuttles coming down. Picking up our boys. That fight's going to last a little while, and then they have to capture. That'll also take a while, so we have some time. Alright, the boys are moving. Get moving with these as well. It's going to be a lot of noise in this region with the Spice Freighter and everything. Or Harvester. So we're about to have our little proxy battle here. There's the shuttles. They're on their way. They look so cool. Oh, they are pillaging it. It looks like they're going to get it. I don't think I'm going to get there in time. Oh, and even without that, my annexation is gone. Oh, but I got refunded. Okay, well, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. I don't know if I got the full amount back, though. Doesn't look like it. I mean, the cost is probably higher than it was when I initially tried. But yeah. So let's have a look. So this is 153, 139. We could just go for one of these. I do need more plascrete. And then just challenge them for that. They are pillaging it. So why fight them now when we could just go for other things? So I think... See, I didn't think it would remove our progress till the pillaging was complete. So it looks like they beat me to it. So I'm going to run back. We'll go for this town instead while they're busy over there. 20 Solari per enemy units dying in allied territory. Scavenger network.
At your service, sir.
Alright, well, we've got 4 units here now, so we'll make a play for Rabu. I'll go attack this way, just a bit safer.
Yes, sir.
Damn, man. That's twice they've pillaged things on their borders like that, so I wonder if we border up against them, will they attack us directly? Now, we have the plascrete now to get that building, so I'm going to go with it. So the research center. So if I was to choose to get it here, we'll get a 20% increase in economic development. But then I'll basically be locking myself out of one of the other two because I won't be able to get 4, you know. I won't have enough buildings to fill up the 2 other categories. So I think I'm okay with that. I think I'm okay with that. What's our tech rate right now? Yeah, I'm okay with that. So yeah, let's do it. Research center off on its own. Or should I put... Actually, yeah, the 10% Solari production... No, I'll go with it. I'll go with it. Sorry for being so indecisive. 3 knowledge, 30% knowledge, negative 30% research hub upkeep, and then also when this is complete, we get 20% economic development. So we're focusing on tech for economy. That's what that building is going to be doing for us.
Awaiting command. Is that...
And it'll take quite a while to actually get done.
Need to blow something up? We are ready.
Awaiting orders.
Oh, also, something kind of interesting about the heavy weapons squad is that I believe they do... Dealing damage to enemy units applies disrupted until the end of combat. Now, I thought they did armor piercing damage. I guess not. The Fremen have a demolition unit like this, and what they do is they actually lower the armor of other units. So they might start with 1 armor, and then it goes down to 0, you know, for instance. So just, I think it's a chance-based thing. So that should be fine. Let's just check this really quickly. An old acquaintance has risen to a significant role in the underworld, giving you a unique opportunity. If you set up 2 spying operations, you get 1,000 Solari, or successfully besiege a village owned by another faction, and you'll gain an agent with the ghost trait. I think I said before, I don't know what the ghost trait is. Voting hasn't begun for this yet. Another agent is quite nice. Dare I push, you know, into, no, I think it's a waste of, yeah, I'd rather just get the gold. Which means just set up 2 spying operations. We can invest some intel now. So this would be one that'd be quite easy to do. And then we'll have to spend one of the other ones. And then we can get another one after that. So I'm okay with that. It's worth the 1,000 gold. We're basically converting what's essentially 200 intel into 1,000 gold, which is pretty good.
We are ready.
I know it's called Solari. I can't help but call it gold.
Ready.
There's no garrison out here, so I'm just going to send the troops out there.
On duty. As you command.
What was this? Sandworm detected. Let's get on that bedrock.
Let's end.
Yes, sir.
Alright, we should have that in no time, and then we have the authority to grab it. So 139 authority, 5 water, no problem at all. Get the extra plascrete up and running, and we'll build that modifier building that kind of gives us a bonus to everything we're adjacent to, which will be this and this now, and itself.
We are ready.
And then not long after, we'll go for Tab al-Ur. Intel, extra intel production. This has Solari. It's been occupied. Wind strength of 3, wind strength of 3. Water production is getting a little tight. We are trading 10 water, remember, for extra gold. Our stockpile is fine. Our harvesters are working. Everything's looking pretty good. Could do with maybe having more manpower. So let's just expand here. Alright, so we can now vote on the 3 that we had a look at before. So I want the bonus from the exchange rate. 30% extra bonus. Just doubling down on gold, essentially. Don't think I want anything else. Yeah, even if this gets pulled against me, I don't mind, because I don't think it's going to happen, and I don't want the units, so I'm just going all in on this, and I'm going to put down, let's say, I don't know, 170. Yeah. So by the time, actually, let's go with 200, because by the time it is, so that should leave us with 100 in reserve, and that should be enough to secure the vote, I would hope. Alright, new village controlled. Let's get building. So let's get the plasticrete factory up and running. We have the modifier for plasticrete here, which means that this building is going to make 45 instead of 30. As soon as we get 300, I'm going to expand this one then and get the modifier that reduces everything in terms of upkeep. Looking good. Economy's building nicely. So we might as well just use one of these. A probe setup will show us what's going on in a region. I suppose I'm semi-curious about what's going on over here. So let's just have a look inside of their territory. Because they make their units here. So they have a combat drone. And if anything kind of comes to and from here through airfields, we'll keep an eye on it. The reason I obviously spent that and wasted it is because we have 2 slots that are locked, and we could just spend the 50 intel to get another one done, and that's then going to give us 1,000 Solari. I love seeing the little ships going to and from the spice fields. It's pretty cool. Still losing manpower, unfortunately. The airfields actually take a lot, 8 each. But we're about to get another one built, so I'm sure it'll be fine. Enemy hegemony stage reached. They reached 5,000. The smugglers. That's going to give them contraband special events, and they gain 50 votes at the Landsrad. So normally they don't vote at all. But they've just gained their first 50 votes. They have a little bit of a say. But it's really not much. I don't think the Fremen ever get any. But yeah, the smugglers have 50 now. To throw down. We're halfway done with our new building. Our tech building. And then I'm just going to be waiting for the authority to go grab this place. And also I'd like to get the rare elements up here in the future. And maybe we'll do the peaceful annexation of the central town here. 161. But this is really the priority for me, this triumvirate. Or like I said in the previous episode, the trifecta of regions. Cool. Alright, so mission succeeded. The probe mission is done, which means, boom, 1,000 Solari. So we've 1,600 now. Still waiting on plasticrete to come up. Might make a trade. We've got too much money, not enough plasticrete. We can speed up if we just make a trade with someone. We have one relation with the smugglers. Let's keep it positive. He's got 1,600, 1,300, 700. The interesting thing is, he doesn't value this.
What do you want?
Yeah, so we don't want that. We want someone who...
Let's get to business.
Who does, right? Who would value it. Or do we? Well, we're trading money. Increased trading value. So he has an increased trading value for our money. He doesn't. And she doesn't. So yeah, so smugglers is the best one. We get the best weight if we throw down money, right? So we'll, I don't know, let's just go like some big number, like 800. That's a lot for you. I mean, I don't know why. You've got 4,000, yet he's apparently has an increased trading value for this. So let's try 800 for 1,200. That's a pretty good exchange rate, right? Yeah, you took the deal. Awesome. Okay, cool. So we can expand now. Let's then use the maintenance center here. And then we'll have a look around, see what else we can get. So we've got manpower, plasticrete, fuel cell. in this region, manpower production. And then the unique thing is also offering a double to our recruitment office, so we have that already. Let's just see, is there anywhere... Yeah, this place only has 2 expansions, so it's cheaper to expand here. We'll get maybe more manpower because we're a bit low. I know I am building it elsewhere, but that's fine. Now we'll just leave it at that for a moment until I decide where to expand next to. So what do we got? Sandworm detected yet again.
We're going out.
We can redeploy the other one, pick this one up. And a trade request.
Let's get to business.
He wants to send me money in return for influence and plastic. We just made the deal basically the opposite of that, except this time the additional influence is there. So I'm going to say no. I'm good. Alright, we're looking pretty good. We have our ornithopters out there scouting out things. Ornithopter to investigate will get money. I prefer getting the tech bonuses when we seem to have a lot of money, so if we just choose to put the Arrakis infiltration agents on it instead, that works out. And speaking of agents, we're about to get our next one. And the votes are moving ahead nicely, I guess. I'm still committing to my 200. I think that's fine. We don't know what influence they have at the moment. Can we see? We can actually see they've got 63, so we can see kind of how much other people could be modifying things. What do we have? Unassigned agent. So we got a new agent, a suck doctor, extra knowledge, production per infiltration level. She's a suck doctor as well. So I'm going to take you off that, put you. So 2 suck doctors on Arrakis, 2 infiltration level, both of them then kind of adding knowledge. Spacing Guild doesn't have anything, so that's manpower production, so we can pop you down there actually. And you gain increased plascrete global production per infiltration level, so we're already making 114, so it's fine. We have 1,000 now actually. It's a huge amount. I can start expanding some of these towns. So we've got another building slot here. So we have plascrete production already being modified. We've everything already been reduced. We could get extra water. It's not that windy here though. It's not too bad, but it's not that good. Power to allied military units in the region and its neighbors. Again, another great one to put here, because it would affect 4 regions. This wouldn't affect as much. Wouldn't affect that one. I wonder, does that affect even... It says allied military units in the region and its neighbors. So I would assume you still get the power even in enemy territory. It just says and its neighbors. You think it would say it doesn't do that if it didn't. Extra influence, extra intel, hegemony, or knowledge. Maybe we'll go with knowledge then. They're attacking this town. Gotta stake my claim on this place. If they're pillaging it, that's fine. I'm fine with that. Do your pillage. If they want to take it, I'm gonna come in and take them out. Oh my god, the chome rate is so good. Has the thing... that's because it's passed. Yes, we won our vote. So the other votes were the 65 for the smugglers. House Harkonnen had 43. Obviously the Fremen didn't really have anything. So we won by too much. I doubled the amount I needed to put down on that one. And then House Harkonnen got the units, and they also got the surveillance committee thing. So that's fine by me. All good. I overspent a little bit, but, you know, that's the gamble. So we just got called to arms, increasing manpower production, giving us the heavy militia unit, which is a defensive unit, and unlocks the warden unit. Cultivating loyalty is the best way to ensure your people will step forward when the need arises. We have our unique building here, the new homeland, or sorry, new development. Support structures, you can assign more agents to spacing. Yeah, I'm going to go Atreides delegations. Other factions lose more Landsrad when breaking a treaty with me. You can assign another agent to all factions. Actually, maybe I don't need that then. Maybe this one instead. Another 100% to agent recruitment speed. Okay, I'll go with this actually, lay of the land, because then we can put more people on Arrakis infiltration, but then I'll go with this after that. So local hubs, lay of the land, and then countermeasures.
We're going out.
Making good manpower now, though. Trade request.
How is Arrakis treating you?
I don't need to do this, so thank you, but no thank you. Really, the only thing I'm limited by now is authority. A raid has been detected. Oh shit.
We're moving.
I have to go over there and fight them back.
Awaiting command.
Really want to see what they're going to do here in a second before I make my...
At your service, sir.
Actually, yeah, we'll be able to do this. Let's just make a trip really quickly with one of these units down south. It'll help stop this raid. And yeah. Okay, construction complete, and that's our base building. Hey, we just got a big boost to tech. Awesome. Research center adding 2, and then everything else is a 30% modifier everywhere, right? So it looks like they're going to pillage it. That's fine by me. Costs won't go from being pillaged or anything like that, and I can just wait to move in after the fact. We're going to just bring our troops down here to fight back. One of our garrison units is going to die.
Awaiting orders.
At your service, sir. Yes, sir.
Good. Everything's looking good. Now, we have our harvester here that we can send back out, can't we? Oh no, they're already all back out. Great. So we want to put the extra crew on this one. It's making 25. The others are making 30. So 5 more. 50 manpower in return for 5 more spice. And because the rate is so damn good right now, and that's because of the Landsrad vote, right? The current resolution is giving us a 30 bonus. So while it's giving us the bonus, and we have a good stockpile, we should just make as much money as possible. And really lean into that bonus, because it's 2.7. 1 spice for 2.7 gold. I don't think I've seen it higher than 2.8, ever.
Ready.
We are ready. We are on the move. We are on the move. Yes, sir.
Alrighty. So, construction is now possible in our base again. We could get another building right away. Extra manpower. Military units are trained faster. Health for military units. Experience gains for all your military, and unit regen is increased 50% at barracks. Putting it in a single slot like that would give us the military academy. Or if we put it in a double slot, we could get 2 power. I think I'd like to do that. Make our units just a little bit stronger. So we'd have to have 2 slots. So we could pop it in here. Well, let's have a look what else we can get. Agents produce 20% more intel, 200% agent recruitment speed. Yes, I want to boost recruitment speed big time. So let's go with that. What's our benefits? We could get 100 max influence, so we can store more than everyone else. That really lets you dominate the voting system. Or you could get political forum, 1 Landsrad standing production. That's I don't want that. I think I'll get that over time. Master armorers 2. Yeah, so I think I'll go with. Oh man, I don't know. Master armorers seems like a good one for this, but that would mean putting 3 military buildings down here. And then you wouldn't be able to get the 2 power. So you can either choose to get 2 armor or 2 power. I think power is probably better. Although Atreides are sort of defensive, so I could see it going either way. 20% hegemony from Chom, I suppose, is alright. And political reform forum. Yeah, I think I'm not going to get any of the benefit there. I'll probably just get one of each different type of building or something. Can't always get the benefits if you want to get certain other ones, you know. That's just the way it is. So yeah, I think I'm going to go with intelligence agency and put it in a 2 slot, so that way we can get the max influence increase. We also gained 2 additional operation slots, so we could store 5. Plascrete's still really good, so I'm just going to keep looking around at where else we could expand. So this place only has 2 buildings. We get a 3rd. We already have an airport here and everything, so that's all good. I suppose a little extra water probably couldn't hurt. 3 times 3, get 9 extra water. Is that terrible? Let's see what wind regions are around us. There's 6 up there. 3, 3. Yeah, we have water pretty much everywhere else where there is wind. 4 is usually the minimum I go with, right? There's 4 wind here, we're getting water. There's 4 wind here, we're getting water, etc. So it's 12 is the kind of minimum that I look for. So I think I'll stick to that rule until we really get desperate. So I suppose a fuel cell would be needed in future for harvesters and ornithopters, but don't see myself getting more spice anytime soon. There's some spice next to us. Oh, yeah, we can get our first defensive buildings. Let's get missile battery in case we get attacked. Yeah, I'm happy with that. It's a front line. It's going to be a border front line sort of region, so that's a fairly decent idea, I think. Now, with the excess manpower we have, we can start getting some militia in these different on the borders. It's good wind out here as well, actually, and more plascrete, so maybe we'll go there. We're making it. Well, our economy is unbelievably good right now. The amount of money we're getting, obviously, from the chome rate, the exchange rate, and then the 109 plascrete production, pretty good. It's just authority, which is my biggest slowdown. Pretty much once this thing times out, then we'll go for that, and we'll have Tab al-Ur, and then after that we'll go to Har... Oh, actually, maybe we should do it the other way around. Yeah, probably. Although this costs so much more. The reason I say that is because obviously I don't know if we'll have the water for both. We will. Oh, yeah, we should do. Sandworm detected. Let's pick these guys up. Alright, let's have a look around the map. So we can see the Fremen have expanded quite a lot, snaking their way along the left of the map. I'm guessing Harkonnen are all up around here. Smugglers are up here. This area seems pretty much uncolonized. So maybe we can have a look out there for different things as well. Anything we want to grab in terms of this? Not really. Nope. All good. We're firing at enemy units already. They're actually coming in right now. That was perfect timing. Holy crap. You're coming in to raid me. They're actually just running straight through my units. Yeah, not being very smart about it. Speaking of, let's expand this place out now, and then we can also get the strength building, right? So 20% power to ally units in surrounding regions. So that's going to be here, 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 and here. We have a military event. An insurgency has taken root in your ranks. The soldiers are unhappy with their wages. If you let it fester, it might lead to tragedy. The prerequisites: spend 50 manpower just to keep it calm. Or share the loot. Pillage 2 villagers or sieges. We can spend the manpower. It's a shame to have to do that, but fine.
Awaiting command. Any orders? Go, go, go. They'll feel it coming.
It's a decent sized attack, actually. I might see if we can we bring up another unit? Even just one would be fine. We'll win it. But we do obviously want to go attack one of these other towns soon. And I'm just worried that this one's going to get shot.
We're moving. As you command.
Alright, they're backing off. That's good. Because yeah, we didn't have a garrison here. Now, I had said these are all going to be full up. So eventually I can maybe get rid of the plascrete here and instead put down another missile silo. So that missile, so you can see the range is pretty good. It is actually almost the same range as the airfield. So yeah, having another one there, it means that if they ever come for these regions again, they're getting hit by 3 missile batteries. It'd be such a great defense. Holy crap, we're making 3.5 on the exchange rate. That's so damn good. That's crazy amount of money. Now, obviously, we are not stockpiling spice at all, but I'm gonna... Yeah, so I suppose we'll have to just stockpile a little bit, right? And we should make that 702 for the next thing. Oh, get wrecked. Okay, good.
On duty.
Alright, this building is almost done. Where can we expand with more plascrete? Probably just store the plascrete now until we take this town. We have the, we have what we need to do it. We're just waiting on the cooldown because it's devastated.
We are ready. We are on the move.
Sandstorm blowing in. This can actually, as you can see, the resources go red. This can negatively impact the production. Local production negative 50%. Can be a little disruptive. We have the Warden unit. Nearby allies gain 2 units. Yeah, very defensive indeed. Now getting that, as much as I'd like to, I don't think we have the water to support it properly for the town's expansion after. But I kind of need another unit. 3 would be enough, actually. Yeah, let's go with, just go with another heavy weapon squad. Although 1 is kind of enough, actually. Okay. I'll go with another heavy weapon squad. I'll put 1 on the southern front, 1 on the northern front. Having 2 in total is fine. Point of interest investigated. Let's resolve it to get an economic benefit or a technological benefit. Spice field detected over here. Communication request.
How can I help?
Oh, so you're interested in these deposits. Sorry, they seemed unattended, so I took care of them. If you need the resource, I'd be glad to provide it. New council's coming up. 4 days. 4 days we lose our benefit, and then I'll probably throttle the spice all the way back up. So the 30% water upkeep, we really don't want to have that happen. Judge of the council is an elected position. That'd be good. Are we eligible? We are not. You need to have used 25 command points. Ah. Let's cancel the recruitment to this. Okay. Okay, I guess I didn't need to cancel it technically, but we'll get 2 more units. It's going to hurt the population of water kind of considerably. So if that gets done before this goes up, we should be eligible, right? Yeah, oh, we're eligible now. Okay, cool.
Awaiting command.
Oh, I didn't even look at what it gives you, but Judge of the Council then allows the training of Landsrad Guard. So instead of having to roll them, we can just recruit them ourselves when you have that charter. Wish I could set a timer on that. Just let me know when it's done, you know? Sandstorm's still blowing through.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Actually, stay there. I guess it's better to be where there's an airport, right? We have an airport in here, not out there. So, what could we get? Maybe more tech? Tech seems pretty good, actually, at 16. Plascrete production. Actually, yeah, we'll go with plascrete, because I'm going to get rid of it. Or already, yeah, going to get rid of it up here. To get a missile silo instead.
Any orders? Need to blow something up?
Okay, covers both towns. Actually, could we do that a bit better? Nah, that's fine. It can't. Well, I guess over here would be better, wouldn't it? Damn, it's a bit of a mistake. Sorry. All right, don't get the full refund. So putting it right on the edge to cover as much of the 2 towns as possible is good. Alrighty, this is ready to go. So I'm just gonna bring up this last unit. I don't care about the money. We'll just be lazy. Send them south. Bring this one up north. And then we'll run the other one south as well when it gets done. So we'll attack with 4 units momentarily. And then we'll have this area. Oh, look, they're coming in again. If they're coming in to pillage it again, we're going to have an open conflict here. Now, they're on the border, though. Because Construction complete. We have our agents produce 20% more intel, 200% agent recruitment speed, and gain additional 2 operation slots. We're also getting the next tech to give us another 100% agent recruitment speed. So agents are going to be recruiting very fast indeed. At least that is the plan. We can also get more operations now, should we wish, like a supply drop. Or Ghost Market. Ghost Market's pretty good, actually. Steal the production of other factions. Arrakis Diplomacy. Disbands the Fremen raids and increases relations with the sieges in a region. And a ceasefire. Ceasefire is always good to have if you want to just stop conflict immediately. So let's get one of those. Now there is a normal difficulty chance on this. So 30% chance of operation detection. 5% chance of complications each day as you're researching it. 30% chance of agent capture. So when you're actually... So the first one just means 5% chance that you might have an event to deal with. The other two are when you use it, 30% chance that your agents might get captured or get detected. Alright, we're on our way. Waiting for the vote as well, which is just about to start up now. Construction complete. The Fremen just reached level 5,000 hegemony, so they can now use thumpers. So they can use thumpers to cross. Basically, they ride sandworms across the map, varying distances, and they can have technologies to let them go further. But they're actually limited. They can only do it 3 times until they reach 5,000. Now they're going to generate them passively, so they can infinitely do it, if not just a bit time gated. All right, so we can start voting. Really don't want the 30% water upkeep, so I'm going to say at least 120 votes on that to say no. Judge of the Council. Oh, am I no longer eligible for it? Oh, it must not care that I was eligible before. That sucks. Well, I don't want the smugglers to get it, so I'm going to say no. The smugglers don't have much voting power. I can't imagine they have that much influence. How much influence they have? 68? So I know that they can only do 120-ish. Now, time will move on. They might gain a little bit more. So 200 should be enough, because the other houses might vote a little bit with them. Who knows? So 120 for myself on the water, and 200 here. Right, our units are ready to go. Let's go attack.
Let's go.
Awaiting orders.
Oh, I totally forgot that these are going to help me, even against the neutral village. Devastating. Look at them looking at the border. They're going to come in now. Can't believe it. We'll fight them back with the missile silos and everything. We'll be fine.
Understood.
At your service, sir.
Yeah, it's targeting them already.
At your service, sir. Atreides!
Listening. We'll take them out.
Oh, sandworm. I wonder are they going to get caught by that? Damn, that's really annoying.
As you command.
We're focused.
On our way. We are ready. Yes, sir. On duty. At your service. Yes, sir. For the Duke!
Ready.
Alright, looking okay. What else is going on? Combat, combat, combat. Village under siege. New village controlled. So we've got it already. Oh wow, that was quick. Get another missile battery just immediately.
Awaiting orders.
Good. This would just be such a super defensible area.
Any orders? Need to blow something up? We are ready.
I lost the unit. I wanted to hide the UI so I could get a thumbnail for the video because it's probably the highlight of the whole thing, having such a defensive triumvirate region thing. But it's fine. I'll deal with it. I just noticed that we're losing supply in these
Taking
areas.
position. Agreed.
I don't remember telling these guys to just walk up here. I must have clicked that by
Understood.
mistake.
Let's go.
They might die.
Understood.
I don't recall doing that. That must have been a little mistake of mine. If they make it just to the bedrock here, they'll get their supply back. Close one. So why did that happen? Yeah, I must have misclicked or something. Okay. Oh, and I didn't even notice the harvester. Oh, fuck. I'm after losing a harvester. Sorry. Shouldn't have gotten rid of the UI. Trying to make it immersive, man. Oh well. Yeah, damn. That's such a loss of income for temporarily anyway. We'll get the units back. It's a setback of basically 100 manpower and a little bit of time.
We're honored to
Not
serve.
excusing it. It shouldn't have happened, but oh well. We're still doing fine. So how is the score, actually? Yeah, we're still ahead. Smuggler's catching up, though. And we have our region, which is the important thing. Although, the thing didn't get built, actually.
Ready.
Don't know why. Did they attack it and get rid of it? Didn't think they could do that while it's under construction. We've got tons of money. Again, we could build another building in here. Get another one of these to complement this one. And that would give us the Senate envoys, giving us extra influence. Authority production, hegemony gains. Yes. Gain a portion of your hegemony as Solari. Oh my god, that seems really good. A portion of your hegemony as Solari. I'm guessing it means a portion of your income to hegemony, not just the constant score you have. Because you can have it passively generated as income. Just take a while to get that other thing back up and running. Alright, and the last one to take will be this one. 238 authority. We've got 85 right now. Again, we could look around for various bits of authority that might be left over that we can spend the gold on. But I'm not seeing any. It's just tons of gold out here. Holy crap. Yeah, there's so many crashed shuttles. They're just full of gold. What the hell? I can never remember the symbol that's the one for authority. It's not the crashed ornithopters anyway. Yeah, that's the best I can see. Okay. Alrighty, well, unfortunately, I'm sorry that I lost a harvester and a unit for really no reason other than wanting to get a thumbnail for a video, but that's kind of the way it goes sometimes. But that's going to be pretty much it for the end of this episode. We're losing water now. We're in a water deficit, so why would that be? Siege trades, villages, and armies. Council results. Ah, damn, the 30% water thing. Even with our 200, yeah, even with all our votes. Our 120 that I put down wasn't enough. 255 against 258. We lost by 3 votes. Oh, so close. And then Judge of the Council, decline. We won that one. We made sure that the smugglers didn't get the Judge of the Council. So, well, we're going to have to suffer a bit of a water shortage for a while. Now, that's not too bad. I mean, we can just turn off the Siege's water. Here they are. And say, we can sacrifice the money for a bit. It gives us back 10. And then we'll need to just set up water production in maybe a couple towns or something like that. Excuse me. And that'll just temporarily keep us going. So in the next episode, the plan is going to be to take this territory. We're pretty much starting to border up now with the others, at least the smugglers. Maybe we can look to kind of push towards the polar sink. Huge water production there is up to 50. Just in that region alone, and then maybe we'll see what we can grab in the south if we need to. But I'm pretty happy with how things are going. We're kind of building tall, in a way. Well, I mean, we are spreading out, but we haven't been in open conflict that much. And we're building nicely already in our main settlement base, as it were. So that's going to be it for this episode. Remember to write in the comments if you want a copy of DUNE Spice Wars, The Spice Must Flow. And then I'll give you a reply and give you instructions how to redeem the key. Alright, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey guys, thank you very much for watching, and remember, if you want to support this series directly, you can click the join button to become a channel member. Doing so will get your name in the credits, as well as loyalty badges and emotes to use in the comments. If you don't see the join button, it means the video has been copyright claimed, but you can still join from the channel page on desktop. You can also link your account to our Discord to get a special role on there that'll give you access to the Senate House and a few other perks.